Hello everyone, I am Dune Monkey and welcome to the eXe Starleague Code B Finals. We have two players from Team Stalker here. We have Aummador and NoVa. So they are representing the finals, Protoss and Zerg. This is going to be an interesting matchup, Viper.
Yeah, I think it will be. Both of these players are really established within the clan, so
Yes, so over here in our top left position on Belshire Vestige, we have NoVa, the yellow Protoss player.
and in the bottom right, he caught me off guard there. Sorry, we have the pink Zerg Aummador.
Yeah, now, a few things to take note of as we start out here. This is a best-of-9 series, so there's going to be a lot of matches played today, basically. And as the probe is beginning to move out for NoVa. But yeah, it is a best-of-9, and this is the starting map, and the way it works is the loser picks whatever map is next. And there's a giant map pool. I briefly looked at it, I didn't look at it super in-depth, but that's basically that. So we're gonna have, hopefully we're gonna have some great matches today. I know I've seen these guys play at practice, and both of them are they're pretty great players, as I'm on the same team with them. So it's gonna be a good match overall.
Pylon out for NoVa out by the expansion. He's going to get ready for the first expand.
Yep. Probably in what am I trying to say? Signaling that he wants to do the Forge Fast Expand compared to the gateway opener that has become standard in Heart of the Swarm. Now Aummador going to go for that 14 pool, and the reason that he does this is because that probe will deny if he does not get a spawning pool early enough. We'll just plop down a pylon and annoy him, and we're going to see that happen now. The probe is even going to be annoying for all that.
I'm surprised that Nova's going Nexus first. Usually, when players see the pool go down, they'll go Forge first and then Nexus.
Yeah, it really depends. I've found that on bigger maps, the way that it works is you go for the Nexus first, and this is a pretty big map. It's going to take a while for the Zerglings to get here, and I feel like overall he feels pretty confident about this, especially since he knows that the natural was taken, and the third actually going to be taken here for Aummador, so he's going to go up to really fast economic advantage over NoVa pretty quickly as this game gets underway.
Pretty surprising, seeing how NoVa didn't scout out the expansion, but I'm guessing he assumes it's there, so...
Is there a hole in between the gateway and the forge?
Looks that way.
Yes, it does look that way. Maybe he did that on purpose.
And when I said Nova, I meant Aummador, because he went for the double expansion.
Yes, he did. Now, what do you... I mean, there's so many different tech paths that Protoss go down now. They have the Phoenix opener that was really common at the very beginning of Heart of the Swarm. We haven't seen a whole lot of Immortal play come out a lot. Of course, Colossus still really good, but charge lots. We've seen a lot of like 8-gate random pressures with just like mass upgrades. I mean, what do you think? What do you think we'll see from NoVa coming out of this game?
Could be anything. I'm noticing a lot of Protosses are leaning more towards ground rather than air lately, so we should see what his tech choices will be within the next probably few minutes.
Yep, Mothership Core coming out, going to provide the defenses if any crazy Ling early attack comes. But there is a third base, which he's going to plop down that pylon, run in there to scout that out with this probe. Now he's going to see it and go, okay, I see how things are going. And there's really two reactions that I think Protoss players have to this. And the first one is, oh, you took your third base early. Let me, get up a lot of gates, get up a robo, get up a Stargate, and just heavily pressure your front with that. Or the other one is, I'm going to take a third.
And the Stargate gets dropped by Nova, so I'm thinking he's either going Oracle or he's going Phoenix to snipe overlights.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like. Oh no, the pylon has been found by these Zerglings. That is not going to work. I feel like the Phoenix is a better decision overall. It's more common, I would say. The Oracles are not as useful in the overall they can do, because the Phoenix can go in, snipe off a queen really quickly if you have about 5 or 6 of them. Even though it is a little bit more of an investment, but still, if you take out a queen, that is so much production lost for a Zerg player. And queens are actually quite expensive. 150 minerals. It's pretty costly if you get enough of them.
And you were correct, good sir. It is going to be Phoenix play with a 2 gates or second gate or third gate finishing up.
Now, I don't know if this is intentional. It might be, but I feel like his gateway research, his warp gate, was a little bit late. I know I saw him sitting at about 150 gas a little bit before he threw down the starport, so maybe it was intentional, but he had not started warp gate yet. Normally, that's the first thing that you spin your gas on. You get that going, and then you'll move on down your other tech paths. NoVa taking his third gas, might throw down a fourth here. We also have the Robo Bay, and this is actually looking pretty normal to the way a lot of Protoss players used to open at the very beginning. Unfortunately, Aummador, he's only seen that Robo that's just now building, so he's going to be totally blindsided by all these Phoenixes.
And he's going Roach Tech, so we'll probably see Roach Hydra and Fester to start off. Or not Fester, but Swarm Host, I mean.
Yeah, Roach Hydra and Fester, really good unit composition right now. Like you said, Swarm Host, I think one thing that's really awesome is when players go that Swarm Host Corruptor style, and I think it works really well. Because really, as a Protoss, to really defend against it, to be able to push against it, you need 4 to 5 Colossus to really push back the Locust, which obviously involves like double Colossus production at once if you do it correctly.
And I'm thinking we'll probably see some harassment from NoVa because the 5 gates are done. Sorry, the 4 gate with the 5th gate coming. They all have the warp gate done. He's going for expansion. So I'm thinking we might see some pressure right away here from NoVa.
Yeah, the thing is like, if he does pressure, I mean, obviously the Phoenix is going to go in and pressure, but, if he does do a really heavy, aggressive pressure, it'd be so easy for Aummador just to sneak a few roaches, sneak a few lings up into that third. But, the Phoenixes have been spotted. They're just sort of sitting there. They need to go for drones, go for that queen before spores get up. We don't even see a reaction yet from Aummador. No spores thrown down yet. But he's just building roaches, and he's going to make a little push. We have a little train of roaches there. He sees the Phoenixes, throws down the spores.
And that's going to shut down the Phoenixes right away for NoVa. Because all the bases are getting spores, so most he's going to do is maybe pick off a couple drones before if he goes in now. But they're just still sitting there, so...
These roaches going to move in onto the natural. There is no defense here. There's no Void Ray, no Colossus, no Sentries, no anything. They're going to focus on the Forge, and the upgrade is not going to finish. Oh, this is just terrible for NoVa right here.
And that's just a tough break, yeah.
And
very tough break for NoVa.
Yeah, he's just now realizing that, he didn't do anything with the Phoenixes. He left them down there. He's trying to pull them back, but to be honest, there's not much that Phoenixes can do. The Photon Overcharge going down. The Nexus being focused. Will it go down? I'm pretty sure it's going to go down. Yeah.
And this puts NoVa in a really bad situation because there's a bunch of Zerg hitting that third. So he could be looking at one base right away here.
Right. The Roach is targeting down the Cybernetics. We're going to have to rebuild that. And Immortal and Void Ray coming out. Perfect decision making there. And this is just sort of a surprise attack. The third going to go down too. There's a few Lings that have been whacking away on it, getting the shields down. But here come all the Roaches to deal with it too. And Aummador is just rallying units across the map. He's got 1-1. His 2-2 hasn't started. And behind this, he's going to go for a Spire play.
And I think that's wise because then he can snipe sentries before they get force field downs, get up that ramp, and do the killing blow. But if he doesn't take out the sentries, he's not getting up that ramp.
Yeah, NoVa down here with the Warp Prism, he's forgot about it over where the 4th of Aummador is. The Roach is moving in. No, great force field there. Going to be able to shoot down there. The Void Ray, trying to do as much possible damage as possible. He needs to make sure this Immortal stays alive. And, you know, he's going to be able to snipe the Void Rays once the Spire does finish. But the Warp Prism has been forgotten about, and that's somewhat of a costly, investment. You know, you need to cancel this fourth. If he really needs to, if he wants to stay in this game, he has to cancel this fourth.
And here's Aummador being relentless with his all-in, preventing NoVa from getting that expansion back up.
Yep, moving on in, and the Immortal going to take significant damage, is going to fall down, and the GG
And
comes
there's
out.
a GG. Good game for Aummador that first round.
Yeah, now I
And the
feel...
biggest...
Uh,
I was going to say the biggest mistake NoVa did is he didn't use those Phoenixes. He went all through that
yeah.
tech and let them sat there.
It was dead supply, dead investment. And what we mean by that is if he would have invested the gas and the minerals into, say, 3 Immortals instead of, 3 Phoenixes. Obviously, Immortals are a little bit more expensive than Phoenixes. But if he was just to do that, then he would have been totally fine holding off against that really aggressive Roach push. But...
And a couple more sentries wouldn't have hurt either. I mean, the force field's very powerful if you can block off those roaches or get them blocked in within a force field. So I think it was just poor decision making. It could have been done better.
Right, the stream delay is working. All good and dandy. Yeah, and I feel like Aummador played it really well. We do have the next map choice. It is going to be Neo Planet S. Interesting map choice, I would say, from a Protoss player. But overall, a pretty standard map. The donut map, as some would call it.
I'm just waiting for an invite.
Yep.
Sorry, I've been off the ladder for quite a bit, so I'm actually just going to quickly look over this map and see which one you're talking about. Oh, yes.
Right.
So this map is very powerful for expansions for both races. It's an easy expansion. Third is pretty relatively easy to defend if you... before the rocks get knocked down is what I mean to say, so...
Right. Yeah, it is a pretty... I don't know, I feel like, for me personally, as a Terran player, I feel like it's really hard to maintain my third base against Zerg, because there's, 2 different attack paths that they can go in there, but they could also attack into my natural, if I'm not careful. So, I feel like that's harder to maintain. Of course, there's other maps that are even harder to maintain, kind of like Star Station, like all that. But anyway, we are in the game here, and in our bottom left corner of Neoplanet S, we have, from Team Stalker, we have Aummador, the pink Zerg player.
In the top left, we have Team Stalker's NoVa as the yellow Protoss.
Yeah, now, I wonder if NoVa, sometimes there's Protoss players that choose maps because they have a build order planned out, but he might just be really confident on this map, and there are some maps where people are very confident. I know a lot of Zerg players are confident on Star Station, because like I said, there's a very exposed third base, and they can deny that from their opponent for a really long time. So overall, it's a really good map for Zergs, and sometimes Protosses like to have Star Station, because like we've seen Huck do, they'll go up to 8 gate off 2 base really fast and do some sort of super really aggressive pressure. But this pylon on the low ground says Forge Fast expand again, not a gateway expand.
I personally believe that NoVa should be aggressive in this match. If he is not, he is going to get rolled. This map is so easy for Zergs to expand, and so easy once they get the free sped to defend those expansions. So either he's going to be aggressive or he's going to be in a lot of hot water really fast.
Right. The probe moving out across the map here, going to be able to deny the expansion. The pool, same exact build for Aummador. I wonder if he will do the 3 base hatch before gas. I wonder if he'll do it again, or if he'll play more aggressively, like getting out a lot of lings early and trying to pressure that front. I know we've seen it happen both ways. In this matchup, we've seen some people prefer a lot of ling aggression early on, and some people prefer, just get up that third base really quickly, which seemed to work last game.
And NoVa going for that Nexus first before Forge once again, as the Overlord for Aummador pokes in to see what's going on.
does see it, knows what's up, identifies.
And he's probably going to park in the high ground, so just keep a watch on what's going on below near the expansion there.
Yep, gonna be able to see when the gateway comes up, when the photon cannon does come up. Another
And here
pylon.
comes four links across the map for Aummador. He might be dropping some early aggression here.
Oh, Nova needs to throw this cannon down right now. Boom, there it is. But the Lings are going to get there before it's done. And he throws
So,
down a pylon next to it. Oh, the Lings can just run in the main though. They don't need to stay here and whack away on this photon cannon building, but will they?
and a cannon goes down in the main for NoVa. So he's going to try and stop this before it gets too bad for him.
Yeah, the smart decision making for the Lings to just go up in the main. Unfortunately, this cannon placement is quite interesting in the main, I would say. Kind of exposed on all sides. You know, normally you'd put it in your mineral line to defend against the probes. But it is going to
And
finish
those
up here.
probes aren't going to hold position. But the cannon does finish, and the aggression is going to be stopped. So
Yep, the second Nexus now down there, going to finish that wall off. Smart idea there. But you see, this is what I meant why you put it in your mineral line, because this way, if it's like this, the Zerglings can harass, and they're denying mining time. It's not so much that they're killing probes, it's just, you know, the denial of these 3 probes mining is just, you know, great.
one thing to note that Nova did manage to get 4 worker kills before, or not Nova, Aummador did. Sorry. So there's 4 workers less that Nova has to work with.
Right. Meanwhile, back at the Zerg's base, he has gone up to that 3 base before gas play again, which is, I mean, with the damage he's already done, it's such a great idea, because he can just basically almost do what he did last game, and, you know, it should work fine again. What's really going to decide if some sort of aggressive roach pressure like that on 1-1 as it finished up, that's when he did the push, to see if it will happen again, is to figure out Nova's tech choice. And I don't want to say Aummador got lucky last game, but he kind of did. That Nova was going that Stargate tech with Phoenixes, which is the play that he did was really effective against the Phoenixes in general.
And one thing to note, Aummador does have an Overlord outside Nova's base ready to scout in for see what he's up to. So we'll keep an eye on that Overlord, see when it moves in and what it sees.
Cybernetics core down at 7 minutes, a little bit late, I would think. You know, normally you want to have that up as soon as you possibly can. You know, but it happens. When a few Lings sneak in your base, you know, something goes not right in the beginning of the game. Your entire plan gets a little flustered, and there is the robotics bay right in the vision of that Overlord. He can see that perfectly, and he's going to know exactly what's up.
So Nova should be going for some Immortal play, I do believe. Could go into Avenge Colossus. The question is, will he be aggressive with Immortals, or will he go straight into maybe Colossus?
I feel like Immortals is a smart idea. It almost, especially with how late your Warp Gate's going to be, it almost takes too long to get up to the Colossus tech and be able to deal with Roach Hydra. You know, especially, you know, securing your 3rd base. Though it has been done, I still think Immortal would be the best idea. But yeah, getting those observers out to know what's coming your way, I feel like that's a great idea. And this way, with the observers coming out, he can prepare for whatever's going to come his way much better than he was last game.
And he is attacking that Overlord. Will it manage to get away? And he has no vision on that high ground now, so it will survive.
He's going to pressure down towards the normal 3rd base that players take. Unfortunately for Nova, Aummador has taken the other 3rd base, which normally players take as their 4th. So this pressure, he's going to walk in and see no 3rd base, and He might be, he might be thinking right now as he sees there's no third base. He might be thinking, "Oh my gosh," because a giant pressure off two base or something is coming. But there are lings that were produced. 22 and 9 roaches were produced to deal with this, and they will find. The observer's going to go in and see what's up. See, that's where your third base is. But Aummador's so smartly rallying units straight into NoVa's base.
And we're going to see that roach aggression, but the lings are going to negate this aggression, I do believe.
The Mothership Core is out of position to recall home, which he really needs as the Roaches are now pushing down the front. We need force fields from NoVa at the front. Focusing on that pylon, not even going to focus the Zealot. Where are the force fields? NoVa, where's the Immortal? There it is. It looks like he forgot his Immortal. He's had the economy up. He's had enough resources to make it. He just forgot about it. And the units at the bottom of the map did die from all the lings. And now the Mothership Core going to return home. That's going to be very useful. Picking off the Forge, though. And this is just not good for NoVa. I mean, he's down 50 supply. Oh, the Time Warp. A few sentries going down. Shooting the rock there. That was interesting. Nice force fields, though. But it's just, I don't think it's going to be enough. The Immortal popping out will deal with this, though.
And a nice warping coming in for NoVa. And he is going to manage to throw out this aggression. But here comes some more lings.
Slowlings. There's the speed upgrade, kicking in at the last moment, and now they can run if they need to. Aummador, meanwhile, taking his fort at the top of the map, and you can just see on the minimap units after units after units being rallied over to his main army, and he just wants to, outright kill NoVa before before NoVa can basically get a third base, get that death ball that he's going to want. And NoVa's going to try to get out of Colossus here fairly shortly. We should see it in production.
The robotics facility just got power back because Aummador took out all the pylons around it, so it was sitting there powerless for the longest time. So the Colossus is going to be a little late because of it.
Oh, the Warp Prism. There was a Warp Prism that he's actually controlling, dropping the one Zealot off to fight the Queen, and I believe the Zealot should win this. Yeah, there we go. Getting out with 4 HP.
And
that Zealot is...
Focus the Zealot with the drones. There it is.
Man, he died in one hit from a drone. That was insane. He needs to go back to mining, though. There we go. This Warp Prism could do damage, but here's going to come the push from Aummador. There's so many links here. Oh, no. NoVa being pushed out. He does not have the wall to hide behind. There's a good Time Warp. Oh, great force fields there, blocking off half the army. And the Colossus is now out to deal with these links, but still, a lot of them did get through, and the Immortal is going to fall here. There's just too many units. It's...
NoVa just can't handle this. As you said, there's just too many units. And, he doesn't have the upgrades because of the Forge falling. So, NoVa's in a really bad situation once again.
Yeah, I feel like he hasn't been using every single warp-in that he's had. He has 6 gates or so, but he just hasn't been using them all. The Sentry's going to be poking down the Overseers now. NoVa in a really tricky position. However, the supply has sort of closed that gap. He has closed that gap of supply. But the 2-base economy is running out. The minerals in the main are very, very low, and he needs a third base as soon as he can possibly get it. And he can't even get upgrades. His Forge has been killed off so many times, whereas Aummador is starting his +2 ranged attacks. The Warp Prism could warp in units. Will we see it? Guess not.
I think he's waiting on the cooldown for his gateways. Yeah.
Third base now up for NoVa, which is really good, but Aummador does have his 4th already. And the best part about Aummador's positioning, if he loses this 4th base, or once his main gets mined out, he can easily move all the drones over to this normal third base location, and he can have those minerals as backup. There's the warp-in of Zealots in the natural. That Warp Prism has been there, but they're not doing anything. Go Zealots, go! Oh, gonna pick him up.
And he picks him up and does another warp cycle.
That's very interesting. Swarm Host now out. So like you said in the first game, Swarm Host Corruptor going to be the preferred style here. He's actually going to go in the main, and if he could pick off the Spire, if he could pick off the Infestation Pit, it'd be great, but even just doing damage with these Warp Prism will be great for him. And all he's doing right now with this Warp Prism is he's just basically saying, hey, you have to be at home, I can pressure you, let me secure my third base and get it all up and running, which he has done now.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have anything but the queen that can hit pairs, so that warp prism would just sit there. And honestly, I think Nova forgot about it because he's not moving it away.
No. Nova. Oh, there are a few mutas out. What? They turned. Okay, no, they did not turn. Yes, no. Okay, there we go. Gonna focus down the Warp Prism. As the Swarm Host slash Roach composition, Swarm Host looks so beautiful on extreme graphics. Holy crap. Going to move out over up here and is just going to start picking away at these warp gates over near the third base. Here's going to come the Lings and Roaches all running into that third base. Nova needs to react to this. He's not moving his army. There we go.
A little bit too late. The Lings are already in doing economy damage. And those are nice force fields, but I do believe he blocked himself out from getting those Lings. It takes him a little bit longer.
Actually, he dealt with that really well. Only 9 probes have been killed, which, to be honest, isn't that much. But now he's going to see the Swarm Host. He's going to say, okay, all the charge lots charging into their death. But he can just push here. If he has an Observer, he can go kill those Swarm Hosts. He does not have to stay. The charge lot's going to chase them down. And this is not actually. This is looking bad for Aummador right now, as he needs to burrow. You know, he needs to just burrow, get those Swarm Hosts out. And Nova doesn't even have an Observer with his army. Does he even have an Observer? Yes, he does have it. It is back at his base.
I was going to say, I did see one, but those Swarm Hosts are pretty powerful, and I'm surprised he's backing up when he could just... He knows there's no Observer there. Why is he backing up?
Well, he doesn't know that there's not an Observer there. I think that's the thing, you know, he doesn't know there's an Observer there. He thinks there's probably an Observer, because normally a Protoss player keeps an Observer, but, you know, Nova doing this approach really nice. Getting out extra Colossus, getting out Blink. He's going to be able to Blink right on top of all the Swarm Hosts, going to be able to use the Colossus to power through the Swarm Host, and he's just going to force field out the Locust as they come. So it's great play by Nova here so far. He's building up that supply. He will be able to push these Swarm Hosts back just a little bit as they fall back here. Oh, the Ling run by.
Will it get into... Oh, it will spot this fourth, and he will take it out. So, Nova just really finding himself out of position. Other than this army, he has been unable to fully expand all matchup.
Yeah, now he's slowly pushing these back with force fields, like I said. But every time he does this, he loses units. And, you know, like we said, Locust are free units. So there's the big Blink forward, but it's just not enough Blink Stalkers, really. He's going to pick off a few Swarm Hosts, but there's just so many. I mean, look, that is like insane numbers of Swarm Hosts. All the Stalkers going to die here, and now the Corruptors are out to deal with the Colossus.
And notice there's no Mothership Core with it to recall, so he's got to retreat the normal means rather than just recalling. So I'm kind of curious why isn't he keeping his Mothership Core with his army for that fast recall?
Well, he did use the Photon Overcharge for a Ling run by that went into his natural. So that was good. He did do a warping round. I think the problem with defending his fourth that he's trying to get up when all the Lings are there is he couldn't warp in Zealots. You know, normally if you see a Ling run by, you're like, alright, let me just warp in Zealots. But none of the pylons were done for him. So, you know, he couldn't warp in anything. Anyway, Corruptor's now out on the field, going to be able to deal with that Colossus count pretty heftily. Swarm Host still here also. And they're just going to do a big push.
Yeah, they're going to attack this third, and they're going to easily break through that wall. There's only just one cannon to defend it right now.
Oh, the Corruptor's out of position. He could blink forward and pick off a ton of them. Oh no, he's not even controlling the Corruptors. They're all just dying to the Blink Stalkers and Sentries. And no, you know, Nova needs to move up to the third and kill it with the Colossus. You know, kill the Locust with the Colossus. But he's just going to push up from behind.
Looks like he wants to engage his Swarm Host, but there's already been a ton of damage on his third.
Oh wow, he doesn't even have an Observer here. It got picked off.
That's bad news for Nova. There's the GG. His army just got obliterated once that Observer fell, and there was nothing else he could do.
Wow, that was intense. Well played by both players. Actually, Nova with the resources lead there, not the units lead though.
I felt Nova made the right choices. It's just a little mistakes that cost him the match. A little bit unit miss micro, those kind of things could have definitely changed the matchup quite a bit.
Yes, definitely. Gonna find out what his next map choice is. It is a best of 9, so that's gonna put Aummador up 2-0. He needs to get 5 wins to take the entire series. But overall, great games played by both players here. They're playing pretty good. And the map that I thought would be picked after last game, but is now being picked, it is Acheron Wastes. Which is a pretty good map for Protoss. You know, they can easily secure 4 bases without, having to split their army up that much.
Akalon Waste. Okay, I like this map because it's very easy for Zergs to get expansions early game. And they're easily defended because they're so clumped together. But the same could be said for Protoss, so it could be a good, huge macro game.
Yep, so both players saying ready. We're going to go ahead and jump into the next game here. Yeah, like you said, Zerg can easily get up to 4 bases, but, Protoss can easily get 3 bases, which is kind of the scary moment for, Protoss. If they can get that 3rd base up really quickly, they are going to be extremely happy, and will usually do fine. But we are into the next game here. Up in our top left corner, we have NoVa, the yellow Protoss, down 2 games. Will he make a comeback in this best of 9 series?
And up 2 games in the bottom right position, we have the pink Zerg, Aummador.
Yeah, now, Aummador has kind of done similar things both games. Will he do it again? That, it's a, and, there's one thing if you go into a best of series where you can really, in some way, mind game your opponent. These guys, they're in the same team, so they know how each other play a little bit, They've seen how, Nova's seen how Aummador plays against other Protosses, so, he sort of knows, and Aummador has seen sort of how NoVa plays against other Zergs. So, it's that whole thing of mind games, and, normally you don't see players like it, but, in higher level play, you'll see players with planned strategies, that they can actually do against their teammates, that their teammates have no clue about, just ways to trick your teammate, things like that. Really come into play.
Aummador going for a 10 pool rather than the 14 pool, and you notice Nova's building actually in his base this time. So big changes for this 3rd match.
Big changes already. Like I said, those mind games going to finish. But the probe is coming out here, and I believe you did say this was a tin pool. Yes, not a full tin pool. Normally, normal tin pools you will see the spawning pool go down, and then the Overlord in production. If you wanted to be, super tin pool aggressive. But this was sort of a more economic focused tin pool. He can still gonna get drones out for a little while. Gas coming up. Is he gonna let that gas finish? This is the first time we've seen a gas before the 7-minute mark for Aummador.
And it looks like he is because he's already got drones ready to go inside. So we could probably see some speedling aggression early game, unless he decides to opt for faster tech. We shall see.
Yeah, NoVa rushing out the first Zealot, which is going to be smart. Getting out the first Stalker and Sentry going to be pretty vital too. If he does want to do an expand build here, he could just, 4-gate really, and that, I feel like that would do a lot of damage. But as I said, Aummador going to go that economic focus. 2 gates thrown down already. Cybernetics core out. Also, the hatchery down at the natural. So Aummador plans to pressure some, but overall still going to expand and get up 3 bases probably pretty quickly.
And this is a way faster work rate than we've seen from NoVa from the previous 2 games. So I think you could be right with him going to some aggression.
Yep, it looks like he wants to secure his natural, and the thing is Aummador has a great position here because if he scouts out that the Nexus at the natural goes down, he's gonna make a lot of lings and really be very aggressive, right? But if he if he doesn't see, I mean, even if he does see it, he really has two options. But he can basically go up to that. He could take a third right now and just play like he has the past few games. But just mind gaming Nova to say, hey, I have Ling speed and I'm going to rush you with Lings, but then he just doesn't. But we do see the Lings coming out. But like I said, it's those little mind game things that are happening. But he's actually building a spine crawler here.
He is going for lean aggression because he removed all three drones out of his gas, and he's constantly been lean since. So I do believe he is going to apply a lot of pressure pretty soon.
Yep, he's gonna. Yeah, I think he's trying to hide the Lings. Unfortunately, the Mothership Core is going to see them, but the Mothership Core is really going to need to be at home if this Stalker and Zealot want to kite away from the Lings essentially, as Ling speed is now done. Going to group up together. Has he shown the Lings yet? No. Oh my gosh, he's only showed like 6 Lings, and all the rest are going to be running. And his goal here is to deny the natural. And the natural's going to finish right as the Lings get there. He won't even be able to cancel it. Oh, this is terrible for Nova.
Oh, but smart move if he can get those gateways down. But no, the Lings are already here.
Oh no, the Lings are here, like you said. The Sentry getting surrounded first, and then the Zealot and the Stalker. The expansion finish is going to be 400 minerals wasted. He's trying to get extra gateways up, but it's not going to matter here. Nova.
He needs to cancel all those buildings that he just started building to get those minerals back. He lets him fall. He's going to be in a far worse position.
Yeah, Aummador wanting to end this game quickly. And he's doing significant damage. He needs to cancel the buildings, like you said. He's not canceling them. He's wasting minerals in that sense. And now the natural's going to go up. And he can go in the main if he wants, but he doesn't have to. More Zealots coming out to deal with this, which is, of course, a smart idea. Mothership Core now back. Also, he could have Nexus Cannoned. But where did all the energy on the Mothership Core go?
Oh, that's a new mothership. Or no, it's not. I think it was a new mothership because I think he lost it somewhere.
No, I think he recalled. I think that's where
he did. Yes, you're right.
The resources went with it. But now Ling's on hold position in the main. Oh, this is so bad for Nova. And, we have a Baneling Nest follow-up behind this. Oh my goodness. This is looking very much like a TVZ, not a PVZ, but Aummador making it work. Ugh.
Yes, and those Lings are just doing so much damage. I think this is GG once again. There it is. She went HH instead of GG, so I mistyped there by Nova there.
Have. Wow. That was quite an interesting game, I will say. Overall.
Now the real question is for Nova. He's tried 2 different strategies, one strategy twice. It hasn't worked out. What does he go with now?
He chose Star Station. Ooh. I don't know about this. I don't know about Star Station in general as a Protoss player. I mean, picking it as a Protoss player is what I meant to say. Because, I mean, your third is so exposed. But, like I said, maybe he has a timing attack planned out.
Is this cross positions one, or is it still random?
I believe this is the random one. Would you guys rather do the cross?
Because I'm thinking Nova's banking on the random portion of it. No, he wants cross.
Alright, we will get cross. I'm assuming GSL Star Station?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Hopefully? I believe so. Is the ladder automatically cross?
I do believe hearing they changed it so it is, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, that's that.
If it's random, it's random. I mean, there's nothing much we can do about it unless the players want to restart after.
All right, we're gonna jump into the next game here. Fairly short one. Are you actually Gold League?
Yeah, I ended up getting an injury, so I haven't been able to play a lot. So I ended up dropping from plat to
Oh,
gold once they start setting everybody back. So I just
ouch.
recently, actually yesterday, started playing again. So hopefully I'll get back my platinum rank really soon.
Ah, I understand. Yeah. With NATL coming up, I'm so excited because one of these players, actually both of these players are on our NATL teams. We have two different teams um, that are going to be going out for NATL. But I'm excited. I'm really happy to see Aummador playing so well because he is going to be one of our key members. But anyway, jumping into the game, this is the eXe Starleague Code B for North America. We have in the top left corner Aummador, the pink Zerg who is up 3 games. He only needs 2 more wins to take the entire series.
In the bottom right, we have the yellow Protoss, Stalkers NoVa. And as I said in the pregame, what does he do? Like, he's done 2 different strategies on 3 different maps. What does he do to fight Aummador so that he can actually get a win out of the series?
Yeah, it's I feel like he's gonna go for the gateway expand again because obviously he tried to make it work last game, but because of the really early aggression, it didn't. So he's gonna try and see if he can make it work in more of a macro focused game where hopefully Aummador isn't going to rush very aggressively.
Only time will tell of that one. So we're just waiting on the gateway to come down for NoVa. Let's see if how early Aummador's pull is going to be. It depends on what his aggression choices are going to be.
Yep, the probe moving in for NoVa here, going to scout out everything.
Sees there's no pull yet, so
I don't think that gas is permanent. I've been wrong
oh,
before though.
going for the fast expansion. Can't. Oh, but NoVa pulls back.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure that that gas was real, and it is. He's going to get that gas, and that means, really quick link speed once again. And that might make NoVa a little bit flustered, but he only puts... Okay, he is going to put 3 in there. I was going to say, that'd be the biggest mind game ever to make it and then not use it and go up to that 3 hatchery.
The question is, what is NoVa's response going to be if he knows aggression's coming? Will he probably do faster units? Maybe go for about the same speed warp gate technology?
Oh, it's just...
Because
I have no clue. He could just 4-gate. I mean... But he's going to expand right now. He's going to throw it on the Nexus. I feel like his goal is to get up the gateways quicker. And get the wall off at the natural faster.
I believe most Protosses actually skip the cybernetics core until the gateways are up by the entrance to the expansion. But but he needs the warp gate to hopefully help toward any aggression.
The Nexus coming down, the Mothership Core going to coming out also. Warp Gate has not been started, going to start here shortly. I hope.
Unless he just wanted to get that mothership core out. Maybe he's hoping on banking enough energy for an overcharge to help him defend. There's the gateway there.
And there's
Or
the
the warp
third
gate.
hatchery. Not going to aggress behind it. Like I said last game, he could get link speed, but then just not aggress with it. Just have it. Make your opponent build defenses. But the probe! Oh, the probe is going to see it and know exactly what's up.
And then the thing to note is Aummador is only about 1 queen so far. He hasn't gone second or third, or yeah, second or queen off yet. So he is running off 1 queen, so that means he's only going to be larva injecting. He's not going to be spreading creep. He's not going to be injecting that second hatchery.
Or the third once it comes up. Very interesting that he has not built more. Maybe he forgot about it? I do not know. But it looks like he's going to put workers back into gas.
And he's going for another one too.
Interesting. NoVa did go back in with a pylon, with a probe, and identified that there was one gas and no one was mining from it. You know, but now there is mining happening, and he could go for some baneling bust. He could. He could go for a baneling bust. There we go.
As you say it, the Baneling nest goes down. Nova's actually completed this wall off, so he should be good to go into a macro game, hopefully. And here comes some links. Oh, they get through. There's a hole there.
There is a hole. He did move his units out. 2 probes dying already. Third one. Oh, he used the recall on the mothership. Wow. Oh, you hate to use that. You know, trying to get out warp gate.
I think he wants to be aggressive with the rest of the unit, so he's counting on this mothership to defend him from this. And I'm thinking that Aummador is looking for a spot to morph into Baelings, but no, he's just going to run out and play it safe.
Yeah, smart decision. And now NoVa going to pressure the third. Does he have a pylon near here? No, he does not. He has a pylon up at the north. But the aggression on the third is going to happen once those 3 extra zealots come into play, and now it's basically a 4-gate with an expansion.
And those Zerglings are getting free hits on the Zealots. Finally, the Zealots turn and confront the Zerglings. But this third is under siege right now from NoVa.
Yes, it is. He might get it here. Oh, but Aummador doing the smart play, going to run towards him, but NoVa knows about it. He warps in the Zealot already, going to put that on hold position. He could warp in more units here. He's trying to get out. He's moving the Mothership Core back over. Almost has enough.
Hold the position.
Oh, the Zealot! Oh, God.
He forgot to hold position, and it's going to cost him.
Oh, no. Things have just not gone good for NoVa. He does have enough for Photon Overcharge. He's going to put it down on the main, probably. I would assume so. Maybe he could just go back and put it on the natural. If he puts it in the main now, it's going to be wasted. Trying to warp in more units. He still should be pressuring with his units at top. They're just killing larvae. And he's going to run back home with his units. I feel like he should just run into the natural. Actually, never mind. There are 4 spine crawlers in the natural. Photon Overcharge at NoVa's natural. And NoVa not in a good position here.
No, those Lings did way more damage than NoVa had wanted. And now NoVa's looking out the inside, looking in once again. He needs to get caught up. He needs to build workers. He needs to play defensive now.
Overall in that attack, 14 probes have died. But still, I mean, the supply is looking very similar. And, you know, you have to think back. You know, NoVa did a lot of damage too. It wasn't just... Apparently the units lost tab is broken on this map, but... you know, he did damage too. He took out the third. That was really important for a Zerg to maintain his third. But now, you know, the Zerg's just like, I'm just going to go 2-base Muta with Lings. I don't have to go for, you know, a third base. And
here comes the Lings across the map. Will they go in again, try to do some more damage? But right now they're sitting at that tower. And Aummador has quickly gone back out his third. He's going to need the gas for the Mutas, as you said.
Yeah, I feel like the Lings are not going to get through another time. You know, no more mistakes. NoVa does not want to make any more mistakes from this. Mothership Core in the main in case anything happens. The robotics facility up, making a Warp Prism and a Twilight Council. He's probably going to go for some sort of charge lot. We probably could see Archons backing that up. If he goes for a Dark Shrine, that would be beautiful. We have not seen that yet. But I feel like it might be either Blink Play or Charge. There's the Dark Shrine, yep. And it's going to be Charge Lot, Dark Shrine, most likely.
And he was just waiting for the Twilight Council to finish to put that Dark Shrine down. You know the old saying, one behind Dark Shrine, and there's no detection for Aummador yet, so he could get blindsided by this.
Oh my goodness. That is a lot of Banelings.
Holy Banelings.
Oh, Holy Banelings is definitely correct. And I will say that poor Zealot in the front is not going to stand much of a chance.
I don't, with that many Banelings, I don't think those gateways are just, he's just going to plow right in there.
Yeah. Now, if he was smart, he would focus down the Zealot and then go in and focus down the rest of the army. There we go. Right into the army.
Oh, and he's gonna... Oh, he's trying to get off on the army. He does get some good hits.
Oh, my goodness.
And the last couple
Wow.
Oh, Nova's nice force fields though, preventing the
Yeah.
links from getting in.
Great Force Fields. The Warp Prism is now out. If he's waiting for the Dark Shrine to finish so he can warp in DTs. In that,
Oh, but he doesn't have the energy for more force fields. There they are. There's the overcharge.
yeah, I feel like this is going to be cleaned up with the overcharge. It should be.
He's doing as much damage on this Nexus as he can. Will he get the shields down before they fall? But no, he's quickly switched to workers.
4 mutas on the way now. He needs to make DTs up in the north and pressure with them. Aummador taking his 4th. He's resecured his 3rd base. Still in a strong position here. Where are the
Nova
DTs?
must be asking himself, what do I do now? Do I go for the DTs? Do I tech switch? He is now behind once again, and I don't know how he can come back from this, to be honest.
Oh, there's the DTs. 3 of them have been morphed in. Is he going to split them all up evenly and go to different bases? The Muta's flying around trying to find the Warp Prism. Oh no, he lifts them in the Warp Prism. This could be so bad. The Mutas are right over there if he tries to fly into the natural. Oh gosh. Alright, he warped in more DTs. He's going to lift them and then go. He's going to send the other ones to the 3rd base, but that Warp Prism is going to get picked off. It's not going to stand a chance.
Oh, the tension's rising for the spectators. They know what's coming.
It's just like a screen distance away. The Mutas in the Warp Prism. There they go. The DT's going to move out. And if he can start attacking... Oh! Oh, the Warp Prism!
No, no.
Oh! Oh!
He didn't attack move.
He drops
He didn't attack move.
He drops a... Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh! He's actually going to go! He's like... He didn't see him. He didn't see it! Oh my god, that is the luckiest Warp Prism ever. The DT's in the 3rd. Aummador now realizing, but they're also going to be in the natural going in. But the Muta's going to fall back with the Overseers to deal with it.
That was a lucky break because now Nova can do the damage he needs to catch up. Will he do enough before they all get spotted?
Focusing on the spine crawlers, unfortunately, he needs to focus down the hatcheries, focus down the spire, focus down the drones, do something like that. He did try and focus that down. Unfortunately, he didn't split any of his DTs up. So, I mean, there was just 2 splits, and that was a lot of resources lost. Of course, we actually can't look. But 20 to 30 workers killed. Oh my gosh, and he warped in Zealots in the main also. 33 drones killed, and wow.
I feel like that was the thing that Nova needed to do to get back in this game. I do strongly believe now he has a chance. He just needs to play his cards right.
Yes. He will be fine with Archons and Stalkers moving forward. You know, in defending his bases with that. Archons are very good against Mutas, along with Blink Stalker, which he's now researching Blink. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any upgrades, which he's just now building them. There they are. The 3rd base up.
He just coming across the map.
Yeah, the 3rd base is up, but there's no defense there. There's no Archons. Everything else is in the main. There's no Blink. This 3rd base is going to die.
Aummador returning the favor. He is going to take out Nova's 3rd.
And Aummador still has his 4th up, so really, you know, he saved all the drones at his 3rd, and he was fine with that. Photon Overcharge. Oh, big shot from the Archon. Oh, gosh. 2 big shots from the Archon.
Those meters are stacked, so the more damage that the Archon can get off, the better off they're going to be. He's going to engage. He's not focusing that Archon.
Black boxing. Or is it called black boxing? What is it called? I don't know what it's called anymore. But the hold position micro, I think black boxing was the worst term you could ever use. I don't remember what it was called. It was called something boxing to make the Thors do
Chat,
more
help us out there with that, to what it's called, and I think Nova's GGing out of this because he just can't. There it is. He just can't handle those mutas.
Yep. Aummador taking game number 4. There is one more game. Will Nova take it? Nova looked quite strong with the DT play, but he got a lucky break, like you said. That was probably the scariest Warp Prism thing I've ever seen. The
That's
luckiest
got to be
Warp
the
Prism.
luckiest, yes. The Warp Prism going past the mutas, and the mutas just let it go when it was. We're just sitting there like, why? Why weren't you attacking me?
Yeah, like it went through and he started dropping the DTs like, oh no 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 no, but then it was just like nothing. It was just that was that. All right, Derelict Watcher is the map choice. Derelict Watcher. Let's get it here. There we go. Alright. Invites are going to start flying out. But great games from these players so far. And it's not that NoVa's playing bad. It's just, you know, Aummador's doing little things that put him ahead. Are you? We can... I can try and fix this. Alright, say something now?
Yo.
Okay, that should be better. I turned up TeamSpeak like a lot. That kept everything else where it was. StarCraft probably should have been turned up more. Okay, they should be able to hear you much better now. Sorry, everyone. On to the stream. Okay, this could be the final match in this Best of 9 series. Or they could pull a GSL Code S Finals and reverse all kill. Reverse it around. If you know what I'm talking about.
But the way that NoVa's been playing, he's been making a lot of sloppy mistakes. He needs to play a perfect game to get back into this series. Well, not perfect game, but he needs to make a lot less mistakes.
He typed no 6p, please. No 6 pool. Okay. I got you. Yeah, like you said, just little mistakes. But in our top right corner, we have Aummador, the pink Zerg. He has won 4 games in this Best of 9 series. Will he take the 5th one right now? Or will he do some crazy strategy and give NoVa a chance at a few wins? You know, I feel like in a Best of series, you can either, you know, play solid and take it all, and just, you know, go 5-0, or you can do some little cheesy strategies that your opponent might, you know, just get ahead because they defend it well or something. And that, you know, that's just one game off, and that's fine. But what will he do? We don't know.
And of course, in the bottom left, we have the yellow Protoss Stalkers NoVa. I feel that NoVa's decision making has been on, but it's just, like I said before, it's just the sloppy mistakes. It's just cost him the games.
Yeah, it's like the first game, for example. The Phoenixes, he didn't control them once he flew them across. Not to mention, 3 Phoenixes is kind of a questionable amount. That's going to take a lot of shots to kill a queen. Normally 5 is kind of the normal standard that you see from Protoss players. Anyway, is that a 12 pool?
That is a 12 pool, I do believe it was.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
But Aummador has yet to get a gas, so will he play more of a macro game?
Now, NoVa did say that PvZ was his worst matchup. But he's done pretty well here, I feel. You know, Aummador is a Diamond League player, NoVa is Platinum. Um, so, I mean, there's not too much of a big difference here, but he did say that PvZ was his worst, which, you know, I feel like everyone has their worst matchup against some race. I know my worst is probably against Terran, a mirror matchup, of course.
Likewise, my worst is a ZBZ's matchup, and my teammates can vouch for me that I just despise ZBZs because it's my worst matchup. I don't enjoy playing them.
Yeah, and
So,
I feel like with the NHL around the corner, because the squad leaders can put, which guys, the NHL is gonna be streamed too tomorrow. Watch for that, but the coaches can choose which players are put on which map, and like Star Station is in the map pool, so I feel like the squad leaders are all gonna be like, oh, well, Star Station's a really good map for Zerg. Let me put my Zerg player on that one, so it's gonna be a ZVZ, right? Ugh, mirror matchups out the wazoo.
and the term you were looking for last game from the stream is magic boxing. So that
Ah.
delay is just a little bit discouraging for us as casters because it takes a little bit for you guys to see what's going on. But Ling aggression again from Aummador.
Yeah, and the cannon in a much better position this time in the mineral line. Like I said, he should be there. He can poke down at that pylon, but not for long as the cannon finishes up here. So not as much damage as was done the second game, I believe that's when we saw this happen. Or was it the third? I think it was the second. I don't know. I've
So
lost
that
track.
must be a sigh of relief for NoVa to throw or stop this aggression. But he needs to be careful because those Lings can't poke at the expansion.
Yeah, they can poke a little bit at the expansion, but nothing too crazy. Aummador gonna go up to that 3 base like he prefers. He could get Mutas out really early like we saw last game, but only time will tell what route he wants to go for.
And you notice there's still no gas for Aummador, so I fully expect a macro game from him, like a straight standard macro game.
Yep. You know, I've always wanted to see a Zerg player go 4 base, gasless, and then take all their gases. I know it'd be probably almost impossible and you'd die from any kind of timing, but I always want to see that happen.
And NoVa making sure there are no holes in this wall, reinforcing it as much as he can. But those two Lings are still in the base, seeing exactly what's going on.
Yep, there's a Zealot going to chase them around. But Aummador has great, sort of great, semi-great map vision here. With the Overlords in the positions they are. He's got two, you know, cuddling together up at the north. But that's about that. But, I mean, really, NoVa has not scouted anything on the map. All he scouted was, I see the early pool. Otherwise, he doesn't know anything about anything.
I'm thinking he's waiting for that aggression that's been coming all through this series. He doesn't know that Aummador's playing a straight macro game. So he needs to expand to stay in this game. Otherwise, he's just going to fall behind.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. He will fall behind if he does not get that third base up eventually. The Nexus now getting chrono boosted. The third and fourth gases coming down. Robotics facility is the tech of choice here from NoVa. Has not been scouted. Could easily be scouted if the Overlord was to just move a little bit closer. Normally you'll see Protoss players keep like one Stalker in their main just to look for that Suicide Overlord, which normally has come by now, because, you know, it's really important for Zerg players to figure out the tech choice, but it's a Warp Prism.
He is going for that fast mode 1. He's probably looking to get it within that timing window.
Yeah,
Do as much damage as he can. Stay ahead of Aummador, who's been ahead all through the series. So,
and you know, that's one thing we saw for the past 3 games. NoVa hasn't been able to keep his upgrades up, and now that he almost has +1 finish, it's great. 5 extra gateways coming down. My gosh, he wants to do this. You know, 8 gate. Actually, it's 7 right now. 7 gate robotics facility, and he's gonna do the. You get sentries and zealots in the War Prism, and then you're gonna force field the main ramp, and the no Zerg units can get up. I feel like that's what
And
he's
a
doing.
note: all of Aummador's attack is in his main. So if NoVa blocks the ramp and does a lot of damage, Aummador could be in a really bad situation.
And there's gonna come... He wants to do the push. He's gonna lift these units up, I feel, and go do it. And Aummador would have no clue that any of this is happening. He doesn't have overlords out in the middle of the map. He doesn't have any units out on the middle of the map. And to be honest, NoVa can just push. He doesn't have to, go in the Warp Prism. Like I said, the Warp Prism can just be there as the reinforcement pylon. And this is going to do a lot of damage, but, he wants to go for Swarm Host so early. We have that upgrade, which I have no clue what it's called. Enduring Locust, I think, is the upgrade name. Coming out for Aummador, and those Swarm Hosts are going to be his saving grace here.
Don't note that Aummador does know what's coming because he does see a bunch of gateways with that overlord. So what will he do to defend this? 7 swarm hosts being built as the protest unit moves across the map.
He needs to go in the third. I feel like he should just leave the natural alone, go in the third. But he needs to go now before the Swarm Hosts are out. NoVa.
There is an observer there. He might be alright.
Oh, the misrally of the Swarm Host. It's gonna die.
Oh, one goes down.
And Aummador knows he needs to burrow these Swarm Hosts right now. Boom, burrow. But, he's on top of the Swarm Host already, focusing them down, trying to at least. The Queens focus down the Observer. No, the Observer is still there.
They can't seem to find him. But that's exactly what they were trying to do. And there's the blocking of the ramp.
There
and
they go.
NoVa's doing the damage that he needs to get done.
Yeah, he's doing the damage. He could force field here a lot better, but he's killing off these Swarm Hosts like he needs to. He has that reinforcement pylon like we talked about. A lot of Queens here for Aummador, but it doesn't matter. Pretty much all the Swarm Hosts have been cleaned up. There's only 3 left here. And NoVa might take this game here. There's just so many Queens.
That's a lot of Queens.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell with so many Queens. But, he should reinforce more. More Warpins. Where are the Warpins, NoVa? The Mothership Core did go down. But even losing all these Queens, that's every single Queen he has from every base. And every
And
drone.
I feel that NoVa did the economy damage that he needed to get ahead. Now the question is, can he stay ahead to take this game?
Yeah, can he stay ahead with the Swarm Host push that's going to, counterattack? Every time that you do a push and you have to fall back, there's going to be a follow-up. He's gonna take the Warp Prism and scout out the third here, and he GG's. Alright. So...
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Oh, I hope I had the screen right. Okay, I did. Anyway, guys.
I'm not sure because he did a lot of damage. Like, Aummador didn't have anything, so I'm confused why he GG out.
Well, let's look at the graphs and figure it out there. Resource collection rate, they were actually about even after all the economic damage he did. Army value, Aummador was actually extremely ahead at the end there. So, that is that. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. We will have the NATL going on tomorrow at... Oh, when was the time? I forgot the time. Do you remember the time?
6:30.
6:30, is that Eastern? I think that's Eastern.
Yes.
Yeah, 6:30 Eastern time tomorrow, which would mean, math here, 5:30 Central, which would mean 3:30 Pacific, which would mean 4:30 Mountain time. So
No, wrong, sir.
No?
It's actually 4:30, I believe. It's 2 hours back for Mountain Time.
Oh. Yeah, I said 4:30 for Mountain time.
Anyway, my bad. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. I am Course Viperisk.
Yep, and I am Demon Monkey. So thank you all for watching. I'm just going to put a little bit of music as we exit here. But great series played here by Aummador and NoVa. And Aummador did take it 5-0. So congratulations for winning the Code B Finals, Aummador.